Welcome back, mother lovers, to another episode of Last Call at McLaren's, the goddamn best How I Met Your Mother podcast on the goddamn internet. That's right. I'm adding a little flair to it today.
Fuck yeah!
I am your host, Josh, here with my best bud, John. How you doing today, man?
I am doing excellent.
Woo! That's right. It's a good time. It's a good time. We are here to talk about Season 3, Episode 3, Third Wheel. It's going to be a good time.
But wait,
right.
Before we do, with the holiday spirit in the season of spookiness around the corner, we had something we had to bring up today.
That's true. So scrolling on Twitter right before we started recording this episode, and one of the show creators himself, Craig Thomas, put out a tweet, and I was like, I got to read this tweet because it's about How I Met Your Mother. So here we go. I
had read it earlier, and I thought I honestly thought I had sent it to you. So I'm really sad that I hadn't.
It's okay. I'm just glad that I caught it. So here we go, folks. It says, if How I Met Your Mother had done a season 10, I would have liked to reveal that Robin Sparkles had starred as herself in a teen horror movie in which she and her friends and the robot are being hunted by a stalker superfan at a lake house in Saskatchewan, and it would be titled "Let's Go to the Mall," but "mall" is spelled M-A-U-L. That's right. And he had put out a thing saying if anybody wanted to design a poster for it, he would 100% retweet it. And there were a couple, but this is the one that we both agreed was the best one. If you're watching, then enjoy this awesome poster.
As you're looking at that, imagine the trailer in your head. You know, like they always do, like the creepy. Nowadays, it's always like rock music, and like they find a way to like slow it down and they creepify it.
Yeah.
So with the theme being the "Let's Go to the Mall," in my head, I hear the creepy piano just slowingly play it, and you hear the "Everybody run away, throw every last scream away, you'll all be mauled today." Fucking creepy. I got chills on my arm.
I love it. I think it's great.
I
want to see
this. My God. You know who the fucking, if this was set now and she was to go back to have done that, you know who could have been the super fan? Nobody asked you, Patrice.
Dude, yes, 100%. That'd be fantastic. I think that they should get together and just do like a Halloween special next year with this idea.
Yes.
You know? It doesn't have to be a season 10. It can just be that.
Spoiler alerts. The killer is good Robin Sparkles.
Ooh, I like it.
It's like a battle of the idea. It's like Boy Meets World when Sean kills Sean.
Yeah, I dig it. But yeah, so that I thought that was really cool. Wanted to start off the episode with that. Let's go to the mall, folks. Let's go to the mall. Now, unfortunately for you all, this is not an episode about Robin Sparkles. I'm sorry.
Nope. This
it's just
is
the
an
way it
episode
is.
About tricycles.
That's true. Now, Robin may have ridden a tricycle once or twice. I don't know. We never know.
It's never brought up about Robin.
It's true. But I wouldn't doubt it. Just saying.
Because honestly, she's one of the few people in the show I could see it.
Yeah, absolutely. So this episode is season 3, episode 3, Third Wheel. It was aired originally on October 8th of 2007. Only 2 days past that from the time that we are recording this.
I was going to say, isn't today the 10th? It is.
It is the 10th.
So it's so close to like the anniversary date.
Yeah, it's so close. And it's directed by Pamela Fryman and written by David Hemmingson. Now, I had some interesting facts about David Hemmingson. He worked as a producer for about 20 episodes or so on How I Met Your Mother. However, this is the one and only episode that he ever wrote for the show.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. However, he did do a lot of stuff. He wrote for The Adventures of Pete and Pete. He wrote for, I don't know if you ever watched the animated show Pepper Ann.
Oh, yeah, I love Pepper Ann. Pepper Ann.
He wrote for that. Just Shoot Me. Uh,
fuck, man. He's got some good credibles.
American Dad, Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. He did an episode of Blackish. And then there was a show called Whiskey Cavalier, which he created, which I love that show. It's got Scott Foley on it.
Nobody asked
Lauren
you,
Cohen.
Sean.
That's right. Nobody asked, Sean.
Or nobody cares, Sean.
Nobody cares, Sean.
Nobody cares, Sean.
But then he also worked as a producer on all of those shows, but also on shows like Family Guy.
Wow.
Yeah, and
so this dude's like legit credits. Yeah. Like
he was a consulting producer on Bones. So like he's done a lot of stuff. We only see, like I said, he only wrote this one episode of How I Met Your Mother, but he's got a lot of credits to his name.
Give him credit where credit's due. This is by far one of my. This would probably be my Mount Rushmore of episodes.
Yeah, it's a great episode.
Like he brings back Trudy. Mm-hmm. You get the belt, which I love the belt.
Yeah.
Anytime wrestling is involved into an episode somewhere, I love it.
100%.
But this episode doesn't feel like a 22-minute episode either.
No, yeah, I agree. It's really well done. So let's get into.
Let's do it.
We got the summary here. Ted bumps into an old one-night stand and is presented with the possibility of a threesome. Robin's personal rules for a first date backfire. All right.
That's actually really. The season 3 synopsises are getting better.
I think so. Yeah. I don't know who did the writing for these, because usually these are taken from like the Hulu. I've noticed that a lot of them are taken straight from the Hulu summaries.
Fair.
So I don't know who writes those, but whoever started off the season 3 one is definitely, because last season, man, there were some pretty janky summaries.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they were pretty like,
yeah. I'm like, really? Like sometimes they'd leave out like half of the stuff that's happening in the. It's like you barely scraped the surface of what's happening in this episode. I don't know.
Well, and that's one of the things I love about this episode. I love that this episode, Barney, Lily, and Marshall are like really not important to the story at all. They could have not been in this episode at all, and this episode would have been the same.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you need a little bit because like you get Lily kind of who goes down to the bar and stuff.
True.
But yeah, it's very small. It's very minute for the real stuff that happens in the episode. And Robin's stuff is just there. It's like the B story. Hers completely is separate. Story. Yeah, it's completely separate from
But it makes me laugh because I got questions to ask when we get to there.
Okay. I'm excited.
I got 2 big questions to ask you today when we get to those points.
Awesome. All right. So the episode starts off with future Ted telling his kids that they may think they know all of the stories from before he met their mother, but that there are some stories that you tell and some that you don't. Which, I mean, if that's the case, future Ted, why the fuck are you telling your kids this story?
Right.
Maybe he didn't tell them this story and it's just for us. But I don't think that's how this works in this show.
No,
but he's telling his teenage kids about a three-way that he had, a random three-way.
I don't know, because I mean, there was definitely a couple of episodes where he's like, I'm not going to tell you that, but then he tells us anyway.
That's fair. Yeah, so maybe he didn't actually tell them, but either way, future Ted's got some sharing issues.
He's got some cojones.
That too. And so we flash to Ted in the bathroom at McLaren's. He's in a panic. He calls Barney, and he tells Barney that he's about to go for the belt. To which Barney, he can't believe this is about to happen. And so we flash back less than half an hour ago. At this point, we don't actually know what any of that means.
No.
If you've never seen it before, you're like, what is this belt? What is happening? And so, like I said, they flash back less than a half an hour prior. Marshall and Barney are playing Wii tennis, which I thought was funny. I thought that's funny because in the first episode, they're playing some sort of video game, but it definitely was not a Wii controller. So I don't know what they must have a couple different systems.
I don't think a Wii was out during the first season.
No, I meant the first episode of this season.
Oh yeah,
they were playing some other video game that it was not a Wii controller.
No.
So like they must have a couple of different systems in that living room because that's this episode. It's 100% a Wii controller.
Yeah, it was 100% a Wii controller.
Yeah. And so, like I said, they are playing some Wii tennis. Ted comes out saying he's ready to go. He's even suited up. But Barney and Marshall, they're not going to go because they're in the middle of a game of this.
It's Wimbledon,
game.
Ted.
Yeah, it's Wimbledon. Ted, like I said, suited up, and apparently it took him way too long.
Well, and I love that they make the comment. He's like, "This is my just rolled out of bed look," and Marshall's like, "Yeah, that takes you an hour to do."
Yeah.
He's like something about tweezing and pulling and
tugging.
And tugging, and then Barney's like, and that's just before he starts his hair.
Yeah, it was a great little jab there. And so they tell him to just go, and they'll meet him there in like 5 minutes because they want to finish up their game.
Yep.
So Ted heads down to the bar saying he's going to order 3 beers. 5 minutes, guys. That's it.
Yep.
Lily and Robin then walk out of the bedroom, out of Lily's bedroom, talking about boots. Lily, because she lent Robin some boots.
Not Dora's monkey.
No, not Dora's monkey. So we flash to a clearance boot sale and that Lily was at, and she's fighting for a pair of boots with this unknown woman. We don't see her face or anything. And Lily gets knocked down, loses out on the boots, and says, "You're on the list, bitch." That was great. Robin is borrowing these boots because she has a date, and she hasn't shaved her legs because, as she says, she has a strict no shave rule for the first 3 dates. Barney, I love that because Barney makes the comment. He's like, "It doesn't matter. We don't care. Guys don't care."
Yeah, he's like, it's like a game of golf. Guys just want to get on the green. They don't mind if the guy go through the rough.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. It's definitely true. So Barney then gets a call from Ted saying that the beers are ready, but they say they aren't coming because Marshall has already taken his pants off. Now, I don't know if you caught this. When Barney picks up the phone, Marshall's pants are still on.
Oh, yeah.
So from the time that he answers the phone to when they flash back to them, which is just a matter of seconds, Marshall has whipped his pants off.
I mean, that doesn't shock me.
I just find that hilarious because I caught that on my second time through. I was like, wait a minute, he's wearing the pants at the beginning of this call.
Yep.
And just like 10, 15 seconds later, no pants.
Well, how long does it take you to take pants off?
I mean, it definitely doesn't take long, but I just think it's fun. It makes me think Marshall knew that it was Ted was calling to get him to come down, and he's like, "I don't want to go. I'm taking my pants off."
It's Wimbledon. He needs the freedom and the movement, Josh.
He does. He needs all of that, and hopefully it helps. So Ted starts awkwardly talking to his beers when none other than Trudy from the pineapple incident walks up to him.
Yeah. And she looks fucking hot.
Danica McPatrick, I think is something like that. Is what her name is.
Like that.
She is gorgeous. They start chatting, reconnecting. There's still chemistry there between the two of them.
Oh yeah.
And just then, one of her old sorority sisters comes in. Her name is Rachel, played by Busy Phillips, who also is gorgeous in my opinion. Walks in, and they start excitedly conversing, reminiscing about old times. And they leave Ted to go get a table, and Ted feels left out once again. He feels like, as the title says, a third wheel. And as Ted is about to leave, Rachel walks up to him and tells him that she wants him to stay. You could see, man, in her eyes, she's got the hots for a little Teddy boy.
Oh yeah, but did you hear what he says to the beers before he walks over there?
I don't remember what he said.
Okay, guys, be cool.
Yeah, that's Ted for you.
And I was like, brilliant. Nobody wants it. First off, he's referring to himself, and I get that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, nobody wants a piss warm beer. So be cool.
It works. It works in both ways. I like it.
Oh yeah. And it makes me chuckle. Like that's a me joke. I'd be like,
guys,
I got you this beer. Be cool. Like,
okay, guys, be cool. He's trying to psych himself up, you know. So after the opener, we head back to the apartment where Marshall and Barney are still playing the Wii. When Ted calls Barney to say that he's got two girls who both seem interested, he needs to know who he should go for. At this point, it's not about the possibility of the three-way. He's just like, they're both into me.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
one should I pick? That
Yep.
the three-way thing hasn't even crossed his mind yet. So Barney says, always go for the new girl. You know, new is always better. That's a
And
Barney.
the funny thing is, we haven't gotten that episode.
No,
yet.
we haven't. And
So
he starts it off here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, new is always better.
New is always better.
Yeah. So Lily takes the phone from him and decides she's gonna, you know, she talks to him and decides that she's gonna head down to the bar to help him to figure this out. So he heads back over to the table, and you can tell they are both vibing hard on Teddy West.
So fucking hard, man. I'm surprised his dick wasn't out and in their mouth at the bar.
I mean, like, I've never had that, and I'm just like, come on, Ted, don't squander this,
right?
Like, so Lily calls, and he pretends that it's his mom because she's in the bar and can see what's going on. She's given him the info saying that they're definitely both into him, you know, touching his arm and playing with their hair. And we get a quick flash over to Robin's date where she's doing the exact same thing as her date talks about being a doctor. Yeah, she is on the hook for this doctor right now.
She is
totally ready to get down. But then we go back to the bar. Lily says that they want him bad. And he has his choice, you know. He is the boot sale, or there's a boot sale, and he is the boot.
He is the boot.
He is the boot.
It's a boot time.
It is. So then Lily gets a phone call, and it's from Robin, and she's asking her to bring her a razor because she wants to shave so that she can sleep with this guy.
Oh yeah.
And Lily eventually agrees and to get it and runs off. Ted and the girls are talking when it's kind of brought out that there's something that they've always wanted to do, and they whisper it to Ted. And this is where we flash back to that original phone call from the beginning where he's saying that it's a possible three-way and he's going for the belt.
Yep.
So now we know officially, you know, what the belt is. It's, you know, claiming for the three-way. And we learned that it's not just a metaphorical belt, but it's an actual wrestling championship, specifically the WWF Winged Eagle World Championship title, which I love that that's what Barney uses. It's a great title. It's a great title.
Also purchases a crown because he slept with someone from, I think he says As the World Turns.
Yeah, I think it was As the World.
So, okay, so here's my first question of the episode.
Okay.
Why is it always the Winged Championship that people buy?
I think it's
Scrubs use.
I think it's the look. I think it's the look. First off, it wasn't terribly old at that point. It was only it was less than a decade old because that belt ended in 98 and this was 2007, so it's less than 10 years old. But I think it's just a good looking belt, honestly.
I mean, it's not that it's not, but there are so many better championships out there. Maybe it's just the wrestling fan in me that I'm like, why is it always the Winged Eagle? Not
I think it's the most flashy because it's got like we said, it's got like a big eagle on it. It's got the colorful world in the middle.
They could have went with the Attitude Era one, and it still has the big eagle at the top and a bigger world.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning behind it specifically is, but
I thought like about it today though because I remembered Scrubs when they do the intern episode.
Yeah,
JD also uses the Wing title.
What do you know? Do you remember what season that was in?
Season
was it early?
Yeah, it's either season 1 or season 2.
That makes more sense then because that show started in 2001. So it was only a couple years retired that title belt.
Yeah.
So it actually makes more sense on Scrubs than it does on this show.
Fair.
You know,
maybe How I Met Your Mother borrowed it from Scrubs.
Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, you never know.
I kind of want to tweet Carter and whoever did Scrubs, Bill Bill Lawrence,
Bill Lawrence,
and be like, "Hey guys, why the Winged Eagle?"
Yeah, do it. Absolutely. After this, 100% you need to do that. But yeah, I love that title. I'm just glad to see it. I love that like you said before, anytime they do some wrestling.
Oh yeah, I always love when the
makes me
wrestling
happy.
references cross over any show.
Yeah, it always makes me happy to see. So Marshall is disappointed that he's never been told about the belt, as he claims he could go for the belt.
Yeah.
Barney, all three of them laugh at him.
Yep.
Which I think is funny.
So, well, here's my question though: is it really though feasible that Marshall couldn't? Because I feel like there is one person in Lily's past that they could, and it's not who you'd think.
Well, who do you think it is then?
Michelle.
Oh yeah, you're right. I mean, if anybody, let's get Michelle up in this joint. Because that's the thing. They all laugh, being like, that could never happen. I can understand Lily laughing about that because it would involve her.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's her choice, really. But like, theoretically, if Lily's down to clown, he could get that belt.
If I could cross show universes and make a amazing, what I think would be a hot three-way, all women, mind you, it'd be Victoria, it would be Lily, and it would be Madison with 2 N's and 1 Y, but it ain't where you think. Because Madison's just...
For those of you who don't know, that's from She-Hulk.
2 N's, 1 Y.
I love that you're like, we're going to do a crossover, and it's still 2 people from HIMYM. You could have done 3 different shows if you had wanted.
That's true. I mean, I would probably replace Robin with...
well, no, you'd said Victoria and Lily.
Sorry, yeah. I would probably replace Lily with Kat Denning's character from Two Broke Girls.
That's solid, bro.
Victoria, solid. Madison, and... Is it Max?
Yeah,
Is
Max.
that her name? Max?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Madison, though. 2 N's, 1 Y.
You're really liking this Madison girl.
Dude, it's just the way she says it. Can you spell that? It's Madison with 2 N's, 1 Y. And it ain't where you think.
Well, that's fair. All right. So Marshall then goes into a scenario where if Lily died, he could then go for the belt. But like I said, I mean, I feel like Marshall never even considers the possibility of Lily being down for a threesome herself. True. You know what I mean?
Well, so here's the weird thing, though. Because I thought about this while I was watching the episode, too, and it took me out of the episode for a minute, and I had to go back.
Okay.
So he has no problems thinking about Lily dying here. So he can hypothetically have a threesome. Mm. But we learn later on that Marshall can't even masturbate without having to kill Lily in his mind.
Yeah.
But he can think about trying to have a threesome.
Yeah.
But he's,
Yeah. I mean, maybe this whole situation kind of cuts him off from that ability later on.
It psychologically fucks him over.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Maybe.
Why not? Because she seems real, like, not okay with it. Because we see later on that he has to really get intricate in this scenario for her to just be like, okay, fine, you do what you got to do. Like, she seems like he's not even allowed to move on when she dies.
I mean, it's Marshall. He wouldn't move on.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that for his own sake that he could find himself some happiness if that were to happen. Yeah, you're probably right. He would devote all his time to looking for like Nessie and Sasquatch.
Yep.
Just saying, that's exactly
in honor of Lily.
Yeah, he 100%. That is what he would do. So Ted asks what he should do, and Barney has a few questions for him. First, is the aggregate age of all participants under 83? And I thought that was funny because he uses 83. Yeah. 2, is the aggregate weight of all participants under 400 pounds. Now, this one, the guy has to be fairly small himself, really.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, let's say the dude is 200 pounds, maybe he's kind of muscular. He doesn't have to be fat or anything. I mean, 200 pounds, I'd love to be 200 pounds. I'm just saying. Let's say he's 200 pounds. that only leaves like an average of 100 pounds per girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Trust
so
me,
like,
I was thinking about that. I'm like, Ted had to be at least like a good like two something in that episode, or maybe.
I mean, he's probably close, like maybe like 175. I could see that. But like, if Barney had said an aggregate weight of 500 pounds, I wouldn't be having this discussion right now.
That's true.
You know, like I would not have
he
any
says
issue.
400 even, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Quick math here. Because my math is horrible. So let's go 400 divided by 3. That's 133.33333.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
Here's a reference point. Pam from The Office. Do you remember the episode where they do the weigh-in thing and they're weight loss? In that, like, you know what she looks like in that episode. She's 126 pounds in that episode.
Holy shit.
So like, think about that. How small she is.
Yeah.
And that's her weight. But if a guy, I mean, Ted's minimum 150. So we're talking an average of 125 per girl.
Well, in all fairness, though, Trudy is a fucking.
She's skinny. She's small.
Tiny.
Yeah.
But it's
Rachel's thick, and I like that.
Yeah.
So like, and then here's the other question: how the fuck does Ted know how much either of them weigh? Realistically,
he would throw the fucking belt out the window at that point if he asked. Yeah. But knowing what we know from later on, maybe that's what Barney was trying to have happen.
Maybe it's very possible. And so then his third question is: are you paying Ted Mosby? Are you paying these women?
Is that a fair question to ask, though?
I mean, I think so, because I don't think it should count if they're sex workers. I mean, that's not that's not playing the game.
Ted would not pay for a prostitute.
No, he wouldn't. But I mean, it's Barney. He's got it. He's going to ask.
That's true.
You know,
that's fair.
But I do think it's actually a fair question for the competition of the belt. You know what I mean? Fair. Because then you could just be like, oh yeah, I went and paid, a couple of sex workers to, have a 3-way with me, and now I get this belt.
So in logistics of the belt, because you have to be in a 3-way to get the belt. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be funny. This is going to be telling a personal story on our behalf. And at the same time, it's going to be a wrestling terminology that some will get. Most people should get.
Okay.
We're tag team champions.
That's true. That's true.
Which I didn't realize is a double entendre.
There it is, sir. If this were the kind of show where I made funny titles for every episode, I probably would have called this Tag Team Champions or something like that.
Bro, you do realize right now, though, if I was to buy a single Tag Team Championship replica, we could hold it between us, and that would be an accurate photo.
I mean, you got a foam one? I have a foam one. Next time I come down, we're doing this picture. I have one of the bronze ones.
Oh fuck!
So we're doing it. We're doing it, sir. I love it. All right. So when we head back out, the girls are gathering their coats to leave, and they suggest going to his place to listen to some music, specifically a Wilco CD that he apparently. I don't know the band Wilco, to be honest with you.
Never heard.
Apparently, they do have a song in this episode, but I'd never heard of them. I'm assuming they're probably like a late 90s, early 2000s band of some indie band of some sort, but no idea. But Ted very excitedly agrees to this, and they head out. So then back upstairs, Marshall and Lily are going through the possible scenarios in which he may be allowed to have a 3-way after she is dead. We had talked a little bit about this. She's obvious. It seems like she doesn't want him to do this at all, and she finally relents. It's like she's dead, and he's like in a coma or something.
A vegetable state.
Yeah. There's these 2 random nurses, and she just finally gives it. She's like, fine, have your way with the three.
He's trying to do like Morse code with his eyes. Please don't. I love my. I'm like, dude.
She's like, go ahead, ride the tricycle with your two nurses because tonight you're riding the unicycle. And I love his line. I already did that once this morning.
I mean, is what it is.
Yeah, man. That's married life for you. Boom. There it is.
Can't even argue that one.
So then Lily gets a call from Robin, who is still waiting for her because she never showed up. And Lily says, I can't make it now. So Robin then asks the waitress there if she could run to the corner store to get her a razor. And the waitress essentially says she'll do it for $50. And I'm like, damn, this, this lady ain't getting a tip. I mean, she's already got her tip at this point because she does give her the money. You know what I mean? And it's like, at this point, I don't think she gives a fuck if Robin leaves her a tip because she made way more doing this than she would ever have gotten with a tip from Robin. So she's a bitch to her the rest of the time. She don't care.
I mean, she really doesn't. I mean, Robin asked nicely, like, for $20, can you go get me a razor? And the lady's like, for 50. Yeah.
It's just like, really? Whatever. But then Barney then gets a text from Ted telling them that they are combing up SARS. That's what it says. Which I love. Which means he's coming upstairs, and then they all rush off and out of the room. Ted and the two ladies come in, and he heads into his bedroom to find the CD, but Barney, Marshall, and Lily are in there. And Lily tells him that, they can use their room instead. But it's like, why didn't they just go into their own room in the first place?
Well, and I thought about that.
Like, if they knew Ted was coming upstairs with two girls to bang, why did they go in his room? I don't understand.
Because it wouldn't have made for a better story if they were in their own room.
No, I get that storyline-wise. But why did the characters go in that room? It doesn't make sense.
I think it was supposed to be the state of panic. You don't think about things.
Maybe, yeah. They're like, we just got to get out of here. And they just went for the first room they saw.
It wouldn't be the first time he banged somebody on the fucking couch. Look at Victoria.
Yeah.
Him and Victoria, remember the night that Lily and Marshall were locked in the fucking bathroom for like 2 hours?
Yeah, absolutely. So, needless to say, he is not getting access to his own room for this three-way. And so when Ted says that he just needs the CD, Barney picks it up and snaps it in half.
Fucking breaks it, man.
Yeah, right in half. And he says he can't let Ted do this because the belt is his birthright. And so he tells this story of how he was close to riding the tricycle once before.
Yep.
But a wine spill incident prevented it from happening. And Ted angrily talks to Barney about this. And while he's doing this, you see, if you're paying attention, obviously, you see Lily
walks out,
sneak out behind Ted out the door. And Ted notices and goes out and grabs her before they see her. And she reveals that Rachel is actually the woman that she fought for the boots earlier in the episode who knocked her down. And now she hates this girl and doesn't want to give up her room for the boot thief.
I love Ted, though. How about for the full retail price of the boot? And then handed her like $80.
Yeah. She is easy to buy off. The painting, the naked painting of Barney.
Yep.
This, like, she's down for some cash.
Yeah, until it comes to selling off her clothes.
Well, yeah, that's her own like stuff.
No, I know.
I feel like I get that. But yeah, she's down to change her views on things for a little bit of cash.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So then we head back over to the restaurant. The waitress gives Robin a bag, and it's a big ass bag. I felt. Yeah.
For one little razor?
For one razor and no shaving cream.
Well, because she didn't ask for shaving cream.
No, I get it. But like, if this chick wasn't being such a beast, I feel like you could have just assumed that you probably would have needed it. She gave you $50. You could have just picked up $1 can of freaking, shaving cream just in case not be a complete and total B. But no, we're keeping that rolling for this one. And so Robin has to be inventive, She heads to the bathroom to try to use some soap, but it's all out. So what is she going to use, John?
So this is where my second question comes into play.
Ooh, okay.
So I understand using the hand soap because you
Yeah.
can lather it and rub it on, and it does the kind of sort of what shaving cream would do. But instead, because the hand soap being out, she goes out and steals butter off someone's table.
Yeah.
Would butter work, though?
I think on like something like a leg where it's like not super thick, like as opposed to like a beard, I think it would work because it would allow for that slickness that you would need at times. I don't think it would necessarily work on a beard because how much thicker it is.
I don't
You
know.
know what
I
I
just,
mean?
I feel like butter is too thick.
Maybe, but I
But
mean,
I don't see.
I guess it depends how much she puts on her leg.
I mean, she puts a good glob on there, man.
Yeah, if she like rubs it in and gets it like and doesn't just leave a glob as she, then it would probably work better.
You know,
But
I'm gonna pull a John Malkovich and ask my Oreo.
what does the Oreo say?
It says it probably works.
All right. Well, the next time you feel the need to shave a leg, you try some butter. See what happens.
Malkovich says it's a good idea.
And that's all that matters. So as she's attempting to shave with the butter, she jumbles around and then suddenly slips and just boom, right down on the floor. She just hard, man. She hits the floor hard. And then we leave her. We don't actually know what happens. We flash back over to Ted, who says he can't find the CD, because obviously Barney snapped it in half. But they don't mind because they can still have some fun without music.
Oh, yeah. They can have a lot of fun without music.
Mm-hmm. And like the pressure is building. Like they are so ready for this, right?
They are Mount Vesuvius, and Pompeii has no idea what's about to hit it.
Yeah, and Ted freaks out with the buildup of all this pressure and says, "You know what? It's getting late. I'll get your coat."
Yeah. And then he goes back into his room to being like, "I'll get your coats."
It's like, oh my God, Ted, what are you doing?
I do love though that like he goes back in there. He's like, "I'll get your coats." It's the opposite of what I want to do. I want to get clothes off of them.
Yeah.
And Marshall's like,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Marshall and Lily kind of like make fun of him a bit for this.
Yeah, and this is where I love Barney though. Barney's like, "Leave him alone."
Yeah, man. He out of nowhere, man. He takes this super personally.
I'm gonna go movie quote on this one. You ready?
Sure.
Live her alone, man.
Live her alone.
Live her alone.
So he then tells a slightly different version of the story that he told before, where when he was during his shot at the belt, he too got freaked out and purposefully spilled the wine and made a big deal about it and then took off.
Yep.
And this isn't the last time that we see something like this happen with Barney, as we get a whole episode about it called The Yips.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Thought about that myself.
Yeah.
So now here's a question that just popped into my mind.
Okay.
So third question for the episode.
I like it.
Have you ever had a moment where a three-way presented itself to you and you had a moment like Barney and Ted?
Unfortunately, no.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
No, that's a lie. That is a lie. Mary.
Okay.
Do you remember?
Yeah. The after. Yeah.
Well, no. It was the first time with Mary that I had the issue.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
But the second time, that went through my head before it even started. Yeah. I was like, oh, man, am I going to have this problem? I'm like, oh, God, what happens if that happens again?
Yeah.
But then it ended up just being fun and...
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Fun.
Tag team champs.
Multi-time tag team champs.
That's right, man. That is right.
We are almost the New Age Outlaws. The 5-time tag team champions of the world.
Speaking of, tonight being a Monday Night Raw was tonight.
This is
25th
the 25th
anniversary of
D-Generation
X.
X.
Hells yeah. Gonna have to watch that. But
yeah, except poor Billy Gunn won't be there.
Yeah, you know. You win some, you lose some.
Only half of the Outlaws will be there.
Like I said, you win some, you lose some.
Indeed.
Yeah. But then, Barney will not allow Ted to give up on this.
He pep talks him.
Yeah, oh yeah. He says that he will help him to fulfill his destiny.
He realizes that he can make Ted the man he needs to be to claim the belt.
That's right. And he gives him some steps to success, as I put it in here. His plan includes some tequila, some dancing, some foot massages, and the thought of possible death. The mortality angle.
I love how, though, like, as he's telling him, like, Ted's like, we don't have an automatic fireplace. He's like, that's right, that's my house.
Yeah. Yep.
And he's like, why would I do this? And he's like, listen, Ted, just shut the fuck up.
Yep.
And once he gets through the plan, Ted's like, you're right, Barney. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to be Rocky Balboa.
There it is.
That's me adding that in there. And then he goes out there, and what happens, Josh?
Oh, he gets out there, and they're gone.
They're gone.
But then he hears some giggling from the other bedroom, and he heads over there, opens the door, and it's like that scene in Pulp Fiction when they open up the briefcase. It's just like everything you wanted is right there. And then we go to the next day at the bar. Barney's asking him if he did it, but Ted won't say because, as he says, at the beginning, some stories just don't need to be told. And this frustrates Barney so much.
He even picks the belt up. He's like, the belt, Ted.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you, did he?
I think he did. Mainly because if he didn't, I don't think he would have had any issue saying that he didn't. Exactly. I think he would have played the sympathy card that he didn't, it didn't happen because he would want them to feel bad for him.
That is exactly how I know Ted didn't that's how I know Ted did it. Because, like you said, if he didn't, he would have been like, guys, there's always going to be another chance. Mm-hmm. Yada, yada, yada. It wasn't my night. Oh, well.
Yep.
He played it coy, and he fucked with Barney. That's how you know Ted Mosby is the true champion.
Yes, sir. He is the true three-way champion.
And then, after that, is like
we finally get some wrap up to Robin.
You think they're about to fade to the end credits, but instead we get to go back to the restaurant where the doctor is standing outside the bathroom, and he's like, "Excuse me, miss, my date went in here, and I was wondering if you could tell me if she's still in there."
Yeah.
And the waitress looks in there, and there's poor Robin on the floor, knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
And she's like looking at her, and then she's like shuts the door, and she goes, she's not in there, but the bathroom window is open. And he goes, oh man, that makes sense because she was acting weird all night, right? And the girl's like, she was acting weird.
Yep.
And then she fucking flirts with him and goes off, and she probably sucks his dick.
You're probably right. And then after they leave, Robin comes stumbling out of the bathroom like, I'm here. I'm here.
Going down.
I'm going down. And boom, down she goes again. That is the episode.
You know what the funny thing is, though, is because that there was one more funny scene that would have been funny if they'd have attached it to that.
What?
There's the table sitting right there to where Robin comes out. You can see the back of the guy sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
She goes down. It would have been great, even if you don't see the guy, if you just hear, is there a doctor in the house?
I was thinking it would have been funny if she goes down and the guy's like, can somebody bring me some more butter? Because it's the table that she took the butter from.
They took the butter from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody bring me some more butter?
Shit.
Either way, that would have been funny. But nonetheless, that is the end of this episode here. Season 3, Episode 3, Third Wheel. John, what are your overall thoughts on this one?
I honestly, like I said, this is one of my favorite little episodes.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a full episode. It goes by really quick. It's funny from start to finish.
Yeah.
Fucking the inclusive of the belt, the bring back of Trudy, Bussy Phillips,
Yeah,
all the way around, man. I love this episode.
Yeah.
And like I said, this could easily be in my Mount Rushmore of How I Met Your Mother episodes.
This might be in the last episode we were reading off some comments and stuff.
Somebody wanted to hear our top 10.
Yeah, this could. I mean, I don't know if it will be, but it could be in that top 10. Who knows?
So
we'll see.
Speaking of that, let's discuss this for a second. They want us to put a top 10 list together, but do we want to do an individual list, or do we want to do a last calls top 10 list?
That's a good question. And if we do a combined list, do we want to do the combining on air, where we have our lists and then figure out which ones would stay on the main list?
We should. So we'll each come up. So you're hearing her right on episode 3 first. Josh and I are going to come up with a top 10 list by the end of the season.
I mean, it's going to be a while. Yeah.
But when we finally get there, it's going to be 2 separate lists and we make into one list.
Yeah.
What will make the cut?
Yeah, there it is. There it is. I'm excited. All right. So now that we have gone over the episode, it is that time, folks. It is time for Barney's blog.
Suit up, bitches.
That's right. Okay. So this edition of Barney's blog is titled Three-Way. And it aired originally on Tuesday, or was written on Tuesday, October 9th of 2007. When it says, when entering a location, it's crucial for a gentleman to immediately assess all potential three-ways, preferably within 30 seconds. You just have to know what to look for to help you practice. I have provided illustrations of 3 common situations you may encounter at the local watering hole. A typical greenhorn might rush to judge and bark up the wrong tree. So take your time and look closely. Now, this has pictures, okay? Several pictures.
Okay.
Little drawings that he did to go along with what he's saying. So for those of you on the podcast channel, I apologize. You're not going to see these pictures. But check out the YouTube channel. Even if you just skip to the end to see the Barney's blog portion of it, it's fun. It's always a good time. So here is the first image here. We got a couple of ladies here, crude stick figure drawings. They're holding hands and one of them is touching the other one's face here. And he says, torso articulated forward, indicating interest. Check. Hair play? Check. Non-essential skin-on-skin contact? Check. It's a 3-way waiting to happen, right? Hold on, folks, because the answer is wrong. Here's our next 2 here. It says, if you want to pop the tent on your own 3-ring circus, you need to hone your powers of perception. A blind puppy can see that subject A is not caressing her friend's hair in affection. Rather, she is removing an errant piece of onion ring. Okay, but what about the hand holding? That's a clear sign, as clear a sign as you get. If they so much as look at you, you'll be unearthing Triceratops fossils at all night long, right? Wrong. She's examining her best friend's shiny new engagement ring. 3-way potential, 0.0001%. All right. So that's the first scenario.
Okay.
The second scenario, here we got this picture here. It's, 2 more stick figure ladies, one with, beads and one with, who's pouring some sort of liquid, whether it be water or beer or whatever, all over her chest.
I was going to say, it definitely looks like a Mardi Gras situation.
Yeah, probably. And it says, what about these 2? This one's in the bag. All that's missing are several yards of beer, the promise of a foam party, and some chick serving test tube shots and blowing a whistle in your ear. And these 2 will have successfully imported San Padre Island to your favorite bar. Fact. Wet t-shirts, like pillow fights and sleepovers, increase female-to-female attraction by a factor of 83 units. It's only a matter of time before you're exploring the tri-state area with these sassy lasses, right? Wrong. Here's our next 2 pictures. Says, really, it's like we're not even looking at the same picture. Our subject pours water over herself in what looks like wild, sapphic abandon, but wrench your eyes away from the main attraction and you'll discover the reason for this public shower, a stain on her brand new expensive blouse. The only thing on her mind the rest of the night will be how to surgically reattach the price tag to exchange her top. Then it says, speaking of exchanging her top, surely her friend with the beads is ready to go, right? No, and don't call me Shirley. The beads are part of an elaborate sting, a carefully choreographed ruse designed to score free drinks the rest of the evening. Notice the never-ending queue of gentlemen waiting their turn to buy this wild lady a drink. The closest any dude's coming to a three-way is splitting the tab with two of these guys. All right. So then we've got our third scenario coming up, our third final scenario. We've got these two ladies here. We've got one, looks like she's sitting at the bar drinking, looks like a martini. And then what looks like a waitress taking her order.
Okay, let me see if I can figure it out.
Okay.
The girl with the drink is trying to get over a boyfriend or waiting for her boyfriend and having a martini while she's waiting. And the waitress is simply just trying to take a fucking order.
I mean, that would be a good thought, but it's definitely not where Barney goes with this.
Fair enough.
And the thing about it is, in his original drawing, there's a lot of details that we don't see. So it says, these two are your best bet. Really? These two? Yes. And how did I determine that these ladies, out of all the women in the bar, are the ones willing to make a triple scoop sundae? Please, a kindergartner could do it. And here's the next set of photos, or drawings, I should say. So the first one is of 3 glasses. It says, hint, how many glasses are on the bar?
3.
Then there's a hand. It says, and
missing
how many
wedding ring?
It says, and how many rings are on the fingers?
Oh, 3.
3. And yes, the one that's missing is from the wedding, the wedding finger, the ring finger, which I think that's all. I think he should have put that in there because I think that's another key piece. And then you have the martini glass. How many olives are in there?
3.
Are we seeing a pattern here? And then it says, yes, that's right. These girls want to go Tripoli so badly, they're resorting to hieroglyphics. All they need is a tour guide. And it says, I think you're getting the idea. Keep your eyes open, gents. Never let laziness take away your freedom.
Freedom.
Yes, freedom. So, that was this episode of Barney's Blog. For season 3, episode 3, third wheel. John, if you don't have anything else for them, let them know where everybody can find you.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it is always simple to find me. Same bat time, same bat channel. Hop on over to Twitter and look up Simply Sane J1.
That's right. And you can follow me on Twitter at JP Raynor. That's JPRAYNOR, as well as at Movie Blog Merc. That is the Twitter page for my site, Merc with a Movie Blog. If you are watching this on YouTube, you are watching it on the Merc with a Movie Blog YouTube channel. So be sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, click that little bell whenever if you want to hear some more from us, you want to stay in tune with it.
Also check out his movie reviews, his trailer reactions. Check out all his fun little videos that covers Disney and Marvel and Star Wars, which I know is technically Disney.
It's true. And, check out John's review of the Munsters up on my site, mercwithmovieblog.com. Be sure to check that out. And if you are listening on podcast form, if you're on Anchor, you can leave us a voice message. We will love to hear from you guys. We'll play it on air and talk about whatever you have there to discuss. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you can leave a 5-star review, and we will read that out as well. But outside of that, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Last Call, HIMYM, as well as on Patreon at Last Call, HIMYM. So be sure to find us at all those places. And let us know your thoughts on things. We love to hear from you guys. Let us know if you want to see that horror movie, that horror special as we were talking about from, and tweet at Craig. You can't tweet at Carter because it seems that he has deleted his Twitter. I don't know why. I have no idea what happened. But you can tweet at Craig and let him know we got to make that happen.
Let's do it. Even if it's just a fucking like get together short.
Yeah, just some like holiday special, like next Halloween or something. I think would be awesome. But other than that, I ain't got anything left for him, John. What do you got for him?
Okay, here's my joke for the week. Why did the skeleton not want to dance at the ghoul get together?
Why?
Because he had nobody to dance with.
He had nobody to dance with.
Oh, shit. Listen, you guys don't have to go home, so get the fuck out of here. But don't listen here.
There you go. Catch you next time.